The quality of people I met here.
C'est une grande première dans cette nation, le Cameroun, d'investir sur la jeunesse camerounaise.
I have the confidence that things are not going to be the same again, whether we continue the program or not, but I wish it continues.
We need to gradually get acquainted. We need to gradually give way to inclusive policies, which I applaud the Carrefour Policy Institute for it.
We are very used to applying to Western or foreign programs that bring young Africans together generally. And this is the first time I'm seeing a Cameroonian investing on the youth to groom a new breed of young Cameroonian leaders.
I learned about the program through social media. A friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, forwarded me the link and challenged me to apply.
I actually got this information from a friend who forwarded to me and recommended that I applied for it.
I got the information on social media. WhatsApp has a way of really spreading information these days, and I applied. And I'm happy I did that and was eventually selected.
De mon retour d'un voyage récent à Dakar, et étant impliqué dans une plateforme des jeunes leaders, j'acquiers l'information via un réseau social. Et je me dis, ça c'est une opportunité qui entre dans mes perspectives. Voilà, je vais tenter ma chance. Et grande a été ma joie quand 2 semaines après, je reçois un appel du fondateur en personne pour me dire que j'ai été retenu. Et je voudrais même saisir cette opportunité, n'est-ce pas, pour signifier ma gratitude.
I happen to have heard about the Emerging Leaders Initiative by the Dennis and Lorena Forager Foundation through my mentor, who forwarded it to me via email. And immediately I saw the opportunity, I quickly jumped at it because I saw a lot of potentials of such an initiative. So I applied, and luckily I was selected.
A friend sent this program to me. At first glance, it was more about leadership, and I said to myself, I am an entrepreneur, I'm a businessman. It doesn't really tie with my career objectives. So at second glance, I said, okay, I'm leading a team of volunteers. I've partnered with other people in my society, other organizations which we are working to achieve this goal, which I'm piloting. So I think this is a program for me to leverage on. This is an arena for me to come and learn. So I applied, and luckily for me, I was selected. So first thing, I want to thank the Dennis and Lenora Foundation for this great opportunity. They are trying to impact the life of youths in Africa and in Cameroon.
I was doing some research on governance in Cameroon and how to approach the ongoing Anglophone crisis in the country when I discovered articles on their website, on the Carrefour Policy Institute's website. So I was so much interested that I subscribed to their newsletter. I don't know what it's something like newsletter. And that's how a few months later on, I was alerted through an email of such an opportunity at the institute. So I applied, not knowing actually what it was going to look like, but I just applied. And surprisingly enough, I received a phone call from Dr. Dennis.
I got through this information about this August 1st edition of the Emerging Leader via email.
I came here as an individual, and I'm leaving this place as a family.
Nous avons appris durant ce forum, cette session et cette formation, comment implémenter les politiques publiques, non seulement au niveau local, mais aussi dans les collectivités.
Being here for 3 days has been quite enriching. First of all, I am excited about the fact that there are 19 other young Cameroonians like myself who, despite the odds in Cameroon, still believe in a better future for Cameroon and Africa as a whole. That alone has ignited a higher hunger and passion in me for a better tomorrow.
It's been so amazing meeting other 19 young, dynamic, proactive and vibrant young leaders like myself in different spheres of influence, trying to make sure they address community issues.
And the second thing I really took home that I was really able to garnish in those places is the fact that we cannot talk about a better Cameroon without public policy and public service. And it's really about time that we young people stop shying away from positions of responsibility, especially in government, because we are the ones who know how we are affected by the situation in the continent, and we are able to propose better solutions. So it's not enough to propose, but we also have to be actively engaged in making sure that the solutions are implemented.
Pour ce qui est du contenu des formations, j'ai véritablement été imprégné en ce qui concerne la gouvernance et l'état de droit au Cameroun.
As leaders of today, I wouldn't want to say leaders of tomorrow, but leaders of today, it is our time. It is now that we actually need to understand what governance is, what humility is, and of course what integrity is.
We've been opportunity to meet other experts. We've been opportunity to meet other great people, older, who are making significant contributions as well and who are ready to talk to us and to listen to us and to share ideas. It's been so empowering. It's been so impactful, and I can say that I'm not leaving this place the same.
We have experienced that learning is what we keep doing every day to better ourselves and to do more. We've got a knowledge on policy and public service, which is very important for good leadership. Then we equally have on transformational leadership, on how can we be able as leaders to pass it on to others with good virtues and values. And we equally have the aspect on governance, which is the priority issue which we are all facing right now in our country and even across the sub-Saharan Africa.
I have learned a lot. I have interacted with personalities whom it wouldn't have been possible if I didn't attend this program. So we've learned on governance, we've learned on public policy, which is something that I can see my career is going to look towards public policy because it actually affects us business people directly. So we've had talk from senior citizens, from experienced people in these careers. They've talked to us about leadership, nation building, how we could make Cameroon better.
It is a great chance for me to meet my peers and to exchange ideas, to exchange best practices in our various areas of intervention. I also think that this creates a synergy and enables us to work in close collaboration with each other. Personally, when I leave from here, I think after having known 19 other people in my areas of intervention concerning gender and women's issues, I can be able to know who to knock at, who to beckon to in case I have issues that are interrelated.
Nous avons reçu quelles sont les techniques, quels sont les mécanismes de contrôle, d'analyse, même de politique publique. Alors je pense qu'au sortir de cette formation, je suis suffisamment équipé.
It is an opportunity to say that it has been a 72-hour marathon. Effective leadership, focus on policy development. It's one of the rare opportunities I've seen this last decade in Cameroon. I've attended a good number of leadership development programs, yet and empowering young people in a bid to give them the possibility to take concrete action in their communities. And so, I came here as an individual, as a politician, with the zeal to learn and develop how to empower my community. I'm going back as a family because I met credible ladies and gentlemen. I've never felt this warmth throughout my life to see women who are in power in all the dimensions.
We went to a very enriching program, which I must say, some of the key things which I returned from there are that, of course, as emerging leaders, we must be the change we want to see in Cameroon. And of course, this to me always reminds me of what one of my famous mentors, Mahatma Gandhi, kept on saying, that there is no way we can drive change without being that change we want for our society.
We wouldn't want to have things go worse than they are already and tell ourselves that, oh no, we'll have to blame the government about everything, but no.
3 key things that I learned is that, first of all, a constructive criticism of what is going on should be evidence-based. You don't sit at home and you take everything that you are said for truth. Go to the ground, make some research, and everything that you propose should be evidence-based. So that's one of the most important. Then in the approach, we should look at what it costs our society to implement, or what it costs the government to implement particular policies.
I've also learned the skills to listen. Listening is a gift, it's a talent, and it's something if you don't have, you need to really work on it. Because when you listen and you talk less, you learn a lot. So all through the program, I've been listening.
And of course, there was much to do with the issue of democratic governance, and that in itself, as we heard over and over, democratization is a process, and that process means that as emerging leaders, we must all be able to contribute our own effort towards advancing that process, and that in itself means that we have to be inclusive. Inclusiveness not just at the level of the peak of power or decision making, but as leaders coming from respective organizations, associations, we have to be able to replicate those very tenets of democracy, those very tenets of good governance, including of course transparency, accountability, fairness, in all our activities at the level of organizations, associations. And it is only through this that we can be able also to collectively realize that democratic country, Cameroon, and of course a democratic Africa, which is reflective of the actions which we take from the basic unit of our families, communities, and organizations.
Another thing I've learned from the program is teamwork.
One great thing I've learned is about personal individual contributions. We must start with ourselves while thinking about tomorrow. And more to read is, I got to understand that we need to be tolerant, we need to be very brave in our actions.
Je suis plus qu'aguerri, n'est-ce pas, pour apporter un changement positif dans ma communauté.
I now know how to write a policy brief, and now know the channels which I can follow up, like through the media, through individuals, through organizations like the CAFU Policy Institute.
With the idea on policy development, believe me, my analysis is going to be different this time around.
It would be easier for us to join hands and push the drive for positive change in Cameroon at large in all its ramifications. And so I am very hopeful. I am very enthusiastic about what we're going to do, especially when we leave this place. I am looking forward to seeing a transformation in the kind of leadership that we'll portray at our different corners, and especially when we come together to organize a major event in our various communities. We hope that after being empowered, we can be able to empower many other young people, and that together we can be the change that we want to see in Cameroon.
So with all this knowledge we've gathered on building a nation, as a people, we realize that people should be the priority of our concern when it concerns trying to make a difference or a change.
Ça a été une opportunité pour moi d'être en contact avec des jeunes leaders qui sont visionnaires, qui pensent positivement pour le changement de leur pays, non seulement de leur pays, et même du continent.
We are a family, we are 18, and as an emerging leader who has greatly learned from our three-day program, I come out from here with a great cultural bagage that I will not only keep it to myself.
We are conscious now of how much is needed from us to build this country, same as we are conscious that it is not about what the country is giving to us, but it's about what we can bring forth to build a nation state like Cameroon.
And away from here, when I go back to Buea, I will continue doing what I'm doing. But this time around, I will definitely involve 19 other people that I've met who share the same core values, who have the same passion, who have the same drive, and I'm very confident that this team is going to contribute massively in rewriting the history of not only our country, but also our continent.
We would recommend that they continue to do more to impact more generations of young people like us, so that together we can be able to bring forth the little contributions we can to advance our democracy, to ensure good governance, and of course to build a more participative society that can guarantee sustainable development for all in our society and our continent.
You have caused a change in my life, and I will remain forever grateful to you.
Thank you so much to the foundation for this awesome opportunity, and I hope that others will get a meaning in it.
Thank you, and may God bless this foundation.